Well, the fallout continues from the sackings at Pacific Brands. Shares in the company have plummeted to just 15 cents, down from $2.25 6 months ago. Many are questioning the wisdom of laying off 1,850 workers here and moving to China. Leading the critics is a man who built up his own clothing business from scratch. It's 100% Australian-made, and as Brian Seymour reports, it's staying that way.
I've got a frigging call centre here, Australians. They're not in India, they're here. Bring them back home, for God's sake. If times are tough here, you know, make jobs.
Meet Sean Ashby. He runs a company called aussieBum that makes underwear and swimwear.
Doesn't say made in China. And the fact we're successful overseas, it's because we're Australian. And people do want to buy Australian-made. They couldn't give a rat's ass about China at this stage. They're worried about their own backyard. And that's what we should be, worried about our country, not about, you know, sending jobs overseas.
Compare that to the failed mantra of Pacific Brands.
I think Pacific Brands should be congratulated for hanging on to manufacturing this far along in an industry that has been slowly deteriorating over many years.
In good times, hey, we'll have a beer, we'll go and party. But in tough times, we look after our own. We're a small country in comparison to the rest of the world. Why the hell shouldn't we look after our own first?
Pacific Brands would say you're a small company, they're a large listed company with shareholders and totally different responsibilities, that you're way out of your depth in saying any of this.
You reward people for hard work. You don't slap them in the face with the redundancy, for God's sake.
You get a lot for what you spend. Gingy.
That's next likely to go the iconic brands that made the company into a powerhouse with $2 billion plus annual revenues, with the company saying they've had approaches to sell them too. In contrast, aussieBum will turn over $20 million this year, more than enough to keep it here. Even the Australian Industry Group is saying it's entirely understandable why a company like Pacific Brands would want to move off. You're laughing.
Let's blame the consumer for everything. You know, let's blame the average Aussie guy for the failure of one of our biggest manufacturing companies in Australia. You know, why not blame the people that couldn't look ahead a bit?
Ashby slams the directors and CEO of Pacific Brands and companies cut from the same cloth for paying themselves millions while appearing to be bankrupt of innovative ideas.
The fact is that I have every week manufacturers overseas sending me emails saying, come and make in our factory.
From China?
From China, absolutely. China, Taiwan, Thailand, everywhere.
These Australian workers are earning $800 a week. Compare that to a few dollars a week they'd be earning in China, Thailand or Vietnam. Or the $1.8 million Pacific Brands CEO Sue Morford was getting, which caused so much outrage over corporate greed.
I'm Sue Morford, CEO of Pacific Brands.
What are you paying yourself? 1.5, 1.6?
Myself and Guyon, my business partner, the co-owner, we are on $120,000. This company is going to turn over $20 million. We grow our company. We don't rape it. We don't pull the money out and go, oh, you know, I've had a tough day. We're doing 18-hour days. Is Sue Morford at the moment? Is she talking to her factory people every day? Does she know the names of the people that work for her?
If she does, she'll now have to learn a lot of new names.
Overseas, you're paying 50 cents for a piece of underwear. That's the fabric, manufacture, waistband, everything. 50 cents. In Australia, that same garment cost me about $4.50. But the point that gripes me, I can still make a buck.
Would you ever take your manufacturing overseas to somewhere like China?
No, no. You've got to bring back some basics, values. And this company had principles and values. It's what's got us this far. I don't see why it can't get us further.